Hello and welcome back to the Circular Economy Excellence podcast. I'm Henrik V. Jensen. In today's episode, we explore chapter 12 of my book, which explores the crucial role of digital business ecosystems in the circular economy. As in the previous episode, I used AI to digest and interpret chapter 12's content, creating a conversation between two artificial minds to help break down its key insights. I wrote this chapter because no manufacturer can transition to a circular economy alone. Circularity requires collaboration across suppliers, customers, recyclers, and service providers in order to keep materials in motion and maximize value. But to make this possible, businesses need digital platforms that connect stakeholders, enable seamless data sharing, and optimize decision-making through automation and AI. This chapter introduces how digital business ecosystems power the circular economy. It enables interconnectivity and real-time communication between partners for efficient resource use. It secures supply chain transparency, ensuring traceability of materials and regulatory compliance. Standardization and interoperability is critical, enabling different digital solutions to communicate smoothly. It is about creating dynamic, intelligent network that drives efficiency, sustainability, and competitiveness for the whole business ecosystem. So let's jump into the conversation and explore how manufacturers can leverage digital platforms to build scalable, future-proof, circular ecosystems.
Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're diving into sustainable manufacturing.
Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, we're going to be looking specifically at chapter 12 of Henrik H.V. Jensen's book, Circular Economy Opportunities and Pathways for Manufacturers.
Okay.
And, you hear that title and it sounds...
It's a mouthful.
It is a mouthful. But it's actually a really fascinating topic. So get ready to explore how, these connected digital ecosystems can totally change the way we make and use products.
It's funny. When I hear digital ecosystems, I think of Silicon Valley, not like factory floors.
Right. Me too.
Yeah.
But Jensen really emphasizes how interconnected everything is now. And he's not just talking about individual companies going green. He's picturing entire industries working together.
Right.
Sharing information in a way that could transform how we create and use products from the ground up.
So it's not just swapping materials or, just tweaking designs a little bit.
Exactly. It's much, much bigger than that.
Yeah.
It's about how the entire system operates.
That's a big...
Huge. But before we get too far, I think we need to define what exactly a digital ecosystem even is in this context. It sounds kind of buzzwordy,
Yeah, for sure. It's more than just software, although obviously that's a big part of it.
Right.
Think of it as a network, connecting every single person involved in a product's entire life cycle. So that's manufacturers, suppliers, and even you and me, the consumers, through a constant stream of data, real-time information.
Okay, so what kind of data are we talking about here?
Everything from, how the product was designed, what materials went into it, to the manufacturing process, how it was used, repairs, and even how it's recycled or repurposed at the very end.
So if I buy a new phone, I could scan a QR code and know exactly where the materials came from, how much energy was used to make it, even how repairable it is.
Exactly.
That level of transparency is kind of mind-blowing.
It is. And it's interesting because we're so used to just buying something and having no idea about any of that.
Right. It's like a black box.
Totally. But think about it. If we had access to all that information, manufacturers could make much more sustainable choices. Consumers could actually make choices that align with their values.
Okay.
And policymakers could use this data to make better regulations and stuff.
Wow. So it's not just about being quote unquote eco-friendly. It's about giving consumers more power.
Yeah.
And making businesses more efficient overall.
It's win-win-win,
I like it. Now, Jensen talks a lot about Catena X as a good example of this in action right now.
Yeah, Catena X is fascinating, especially in the car industry. What they're doing is they're working to create a system where all the data about every single part in a car, where it came from, its carbon footprint, all that stuff, is shared across the entire supply chain.
So no more mystery parts from some shady mechanic. you'd actually know the whole history of everything in your car.
Exact.
But isn't there like a risk with sharing that much data? I mean, data security and privacy are such huge concerns these days.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point. And that's one of the biggest things that Jensen highlights is that for these ecosystems to really work,
Yeah.
everybody has to be on the same page when it comes to like data security and privacy.
Right, because we are talking about a lot of sensitive information here.
We are, yeah.
And every company probably has their own way of doing things.
Yeah.
So getting everyone on the same page, speaking the same, like, data language sounds like a huge challenge.
Oh, it's a massive undertaking, for sure. But Jensen points to something called the IMDS, the International Material Data System,
Okay.
as like a potential model.
Interesting.
It's been used in the car industry for over 20 years now.
Wow.
And they've managed data for thousands of businesses, making sure they comply with all the like regulations and stuff.
Okay, so IMDS could be like a roadmap for other industries, kind of,
Yeah.
as they build their own ecosystems.
Exactly.
So tell me a little bit more about how IMDS actually works, because that's really interesting.
So basically, IMDS provides a standardized way to collect and share all the data about the materials used in like making a car.
Okay.
So imagine a database with like every little detail about every material in your car, from like the metal in the engine to the plastic in the dashboard, you know?
Wow, so this helps manufacturers track what's in their products
Yeah.
and make sure they're complying with environmental regulation.
Mm-hmm. And find areas where they could improve too.
That's amazing. I love the idea that we can like learn from what's already working.
Right.
It's like the best way to predict the future is to create it, right? We're literally building the infrastructure for a more sustainable future right now.
I love that enthusiasm. And it's true, like the challenges are real, but the potential, oh, it's just huge.
Yeah, it's exciting.
We're talking about a world with way less waste. Resources are used way better.
Right.
Products are actually designed to last a long time.
It's a future worth working towards.
Oh, absolutely.
This is feeling like much more than just a trend, you know? It's like a total shift in how we approach manufacturing.
It really is, yeah.
But, I'm curious to hear a little bit more about how these digital ecosystems are already being used,
Yeah.
like making a difference in specific industries.
Let's dive into that. And also, like, what does this all mean for the everyday person, and how can their choices like actually help build a more circular economy? We were talking about some pretty big changes happening, like how companies see value.
Yeah, it's not just about making a product and, like, that's it.
Right. Like in the old linear way, you just sell something and the story's over.
But now it's like the story keeps going.
Exactly. It's about keeping those products around longer, you know?
So instead of one quick sale, they're figuring out ways to keep making money from a product over time.
Yeah. Ongoing revenue streams, less waste, it all kind of ties together.
So it's like giving products a second life.
Or third, or fourth.
I like that. Are there, like, any companies doing this well?
Oh, tons. Patagonia's a good example, their worn wear program.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
They actually want people to repair their stuff, reuse it, not just chuck it out.
That's cool. But do they make money from that?
They do. They even give you store credit if you trade in old Patagonia gear.
So they're profiting from keeping their stuff in use longer.
Exactly. It's clever, right?
It is. What about other industries, though? Is that just a clothing thing?
Not at all. Like Caterpillar, John Deere, those big equipment companies,
Okay.
they've got rental and leasing programs.
Makes sense. Those things are expensive.
They are. So this way, customers get what they need without owning it.
And the company still gets to, like, look after the equipment, make sure it's maintained well.
And then they can remanufacture it, recycle it, the whole loop.
It's a win-win.
Totally. And as these digital systems get better, we'll see even more of this, I think.
Look, what kinds of things?
Imagine subscribing to a car like you do Spotify or something.
Instead of owning it.
Yeah. Pay a monthly fee, you get the car.
And they handle repairs, all that stuff.
Exactly. Upgrades too, maybe. And when you're done, they take it back, recycle the parts, whatever's best.
So it's like, we used to buy CDs, now we stream music, but for cars.
Spot on. Changes how we see the whole product.
But even if we shift to that, like, doesn't someone have to get that old car back to the company?
That's one of the biggest things Jensen talks about, getting people to actually return stuff.
Because it's so easy to just throw things away.
Right. Out of sight, out of mind. So education's huge E.
Got it. So people understand why recycling matters.
Yeah, and that their choices actually impact the planet.
But knowing isn't always enough.
Right.
Like, it has to be easy to do the right thing.
For sure. Think of, like, Timberland. They have that Timber Loop program. You get free shipping labels to send back old boots. They have drop-off spots in stores.
So they're making it super convenient.
Exactly. No excuses.
As this tech keeps getting better, what else can we expect to see?
Ooh, that's fun to think about. Like, what if you used an app to schedule a pickup for your old electronics, or you got, like, personalized rewards for returning stuff, kind of like loyalty points?
Interesting.
And down the line, maybe AI and robots could sort all the recycling, make it super efficient.
So we can recycle even more stuff because of tech.
Exactly. And do it better, especially for tricky things like, batteries, electronics, all that.
Right, because those need special handling.
They do. Plus, these systems can track where materials come from, which is really important.
For what? Like knowing it's ethical?
Yeah. Like in electronics, there's that worry about conflict minerals, bad working conditions.
So this goes way beyond just helping the environment.
It does. It's about making sure things are fair for everyone involved.
So it's like good for the planet and good for people.
That's the heart of it. Business success should mean the planet's doing well, too,
I love that. But at the end of the day, aren't consumers still the ones deciding what products win?
You're absolutely right. So companies have to make stuff that people actually want.
Can't just be eco-friendly, got to look good, work well, all that.
Exactly. Style, function, price, it all matters.
So how do we make sure people are making, informed choices then? There's so much to consider.
Jensen thinks digital product passports could be the key.
Digital what now?
Imagine scanning something and boom, you get all the info.
Like what kind of info?
What it's made of, its carbon footprint, has it been repaired before? Could it have a second life?
That'd be incredible to have that much transparency.
Right. Think about how much that could change.
Do you think people would pay more for stuff that had all that info?
That's the big question, isn't it? How much do we value knowing that stuff, knowing it's sustainable?
It's something to think about, for sure.
But even if it doesn't change the price, it makes companies more accountable knowing we have access to that.
This is all painting a pretty awesome future, I gotta say.
It is exciting. And Jensen's point is, we all have a hand in making this happen.
By supporting the right companies.
Yeah, and making good choices about what we buy, how we get rid of stuff. It's realizing we're not just shoppers, we're citizens with a say in how things go.
I like that. So any specific advice for our listener besides the obvious stuff?
Well, on top of buying from good companies, maybe check out refurbished products,
Like pre-owned stuff.
Yeah, often just as good, but cheaper.
Good point.
And obviously recycle properly when you're done with something.
Even the small stuff adds up, right?
It does. And talk to people about this stuff, friends, family. The more folks know, the better.
It's got the word.
Exactly. Advocate for change. Just every little choice we make, it all matters in the end.
This has been super insightful. Thanks for being here.
Happy to. Any last thoughts you want to leave folks with?
It's kind of crazy how much we've talked about already.
I know, right? From the techie stuff to how it affects businesses and even us just shopping.
And it all goes back to Jensen's book. It's like this whole new way of thinking about making stuff is happening.
It's a huge shift for sure. We've seen, it touches everything,
Supply chains, data, how we shop, even being responsible, it's all connected.
It's like this giant puzzle and every piece matters.
And what's cool is we're not just complaining our problems. We're actually talking about solutions.
And these solutions are already being used. Companies are doing this stuff.
That's what makes me optimistic. We are moving towards that circular economy.
We are, yeah.
But obviously, any big change is going to have roadblocks, right?
Yeah.
What do you think is the biggest hurdle?
Honestly, I think it's changing how we think.
Oh, interesting.
We've been doing things the same way for so long. That take, make, dispose idea.
It's just ingrained in us.
Yeah, it is. So to shift to this circular way, we got to rethink everything about how we design stuff, make it, use it, even get rid of it.
It's like breaking free from old habits and seeing the world in a new way.
Exactly. And that change starts with each of us,
So what, asking ourselves tough questions?
Yeah, do I really need to buy this new thing? Or can I fix this, repurpose it? Just being more aware of what we're doing.
So it's not enough for just companies and governments to change.
Nope. We all got to be in on it.
And as consumers, our choices matter.
They do. What we buy, how we use stuff, even how we throw things away, it all sends a message to companies.
It's like every purchase is a vote for the kind of world we want, right?
I love that way of putting it. We support the good guys, demand better from the ones who aren't there yet.
And the more we learn about this circular economy stuff,
the better advocates we can be, yeah.
So what would you say to someone who's okay, this is all great, but it feels overwhelming?
I get that. It's a lot. Focus on the good stuff happening. There's so much innovation out there. Okay.
And every little thing you do helps, even just choosing to repair something instead of trashing it.
So don't underestimate yourself.
Exactly. Don't be afraid to ask questions, make some noise, expect more from the companies you buy from.
Because the circular economy isn't like a finish line. It's a journey we're all on.
Well said. And we're all in this together.
This has been awesome. Thanks for coming on the show.
My pleasure. It's been a great conversation.
To everyone listening, we hope you're feeling inspired too.
The future's in our hands. Let's make it circular.
Until next time, keep diving deep.
I hope today's AI-driven discussion gave you a clear understanding of why digital business ecosystems are essential for circular success. If you take away 3 key insights from this episode, let them be that the collaboration is key to circularity. No company can transition alone. Digital platforms connect manufacturers, suppliers, customers, and recyclers, creating seamless collaboration across the value chain. Also notice that data, AI, and automation make circularity efficient and profitable. From predictive maintenance to optimized reverse logistics, digital ecosystems reduce waste, lower cost, and maximize product lifespan. And the last thing is that interoperability and standardization are critical for scaling. The future of circularity depends on businesses using common data standards and digital product passports to ensure transparency and efficiency. To fully grasp how digital business ecosystems are shaping the circular economy, I encourage you to get my book, where I provide deeper insights into the frameworks and strategies needed for this transition. And because digital ecosystems and circularity are rapidly evolving, I continue to add fresh insights and updates at circularpathwaysbook.com so we can stay ahead together. Until next time, keep collaborating, keep digitizing, and keep building smarter, more connected circular business models.